Hello lovelies, it's your girl back with another top 5 video voted on by my patrons. Top 5 favorite JRPG casts. As they say, it's not the journey, but the friends you made along the way. And I've been on many journeys and made many friends. Imaginary friends, but I digress. Spoilers are sprinkled all throughout this video, so I've timestamped each one of my picks in the description for your safety. Number 5. The classics. When you think of the tried and true composition of a JRPG party, what classes do you think of? A thief, a fighter, a mage, and a healer. And yeah, there are some others, but for this example, who cares? Final Fantasy IX is a beautiful game, bursting with life, a unique world, and you get to see this world alongside a diversified group. Obviously, Final Fantasy IX has 8 total party members, but there's nothing like having the original 4. Zidane, the lackadaisical, fun-loving thief. Garnet, a dutiful princess. Steiner, the captain of the Pluto Knights of Alexandria and insanely loyal to Princess Garnet. And Vivi, my sweet child trying to navigate through life. They have such chemistry, whether it's Zidane flirting with Garnet or Steiner hollering at Zidane for trying to get with the princess. Even Vivi having such innocence only to be riddled with a short timer on life. I love their moments, and how confident characters fall and stiff characters come around to new ways of thinking. Even in battle, Vivi and Steiner were a force to be reckoned with. The active time events were great ways to see party members interacting and running into trouble, or just getting a feel for the new lands that they're in. It was another lens to view our heroes from. And I'm not trying to write off the other characters, but for me, they didn't leave much of an impression, save for Aiko. She was cute and actually had some relevance to the story. Freya, unpopular opinion, I don't give a fuck about. She's forgettable, what can I say? Quina exists to eat, which, you know, relatable. And Amarant, who you could literally take out of the story and nothing would change. And that's probably why this ranks lowest on the list, because half the cast I didn't want for. I just like the complex simplicity of the original 4. Each one of their stories made me laugh and others cry. Cry a lot. Number 4. This series went from awful, but not really awful considering its time period, to wow, why isn't Capcom making more of these? And I say this not playing the 5th one and just ignoring that the 6th one exists. Breath of Fire 3, baby! Oh man, I love these guys. Immediately you're roped in with 2 thieving boys and making mischief for a nearby village. Ray is like your big brother, finding you butt-ass naked and taking you in, not knowing who you are or where you came from. And Tipo, who seems to be about the same age, is just a little shit. He's so full of himself and he kicks objects and people. Later in the child arc, you meet Nina. Princess Nina. She isn't a typical royal, wanting to be loved for who she is, not because of her title. She is a tad naive, which leads her to get into a bit of trouble, but Ryu is always nearby to save her. And Gar, who seems strangely obsessed with Ryu, but later becomes my favorite character in the entire Breath of Fire series. After a time skip, the game truly begins, and we see these characters come into their own. Nina firmly defies her parents, choosing to help her people by being on the front lines instead of the safety in her kingdom walls. Gar has the best character transformation, questioning the orders of his creator. Momo, who is obsessed with technology and her father's studies, and is working diligently to expand upon them. She is invaluable, as nearly every dungeon in the Eastern continent requires her genius. The once kind-hearted Ray, who lost himself to vengeance after being separated from Tipo and Ryu, is granted a great bonding moment with Ryu while dealing with the guilt of his actions. It's so good. Oh, and then there's Peko, who's like a tree. I really enjoy a well-balanced cast of good people and people who are good but have made poor decisions and are truly trying to right their wrongs and come out better for it.
Number 3.
Whoa, this took me by surprise. I thought I would play this game and feel nothing for anybody except for His Highness. When I first saw the trailer and was introduced to these 3 proud nobles, I was certain I would fight for the Holy Kingdom of Fargus. And I did, but not without hesitation. The other 2 were just so endearing. Fire Emblem 3 Houses. I do not hold strategy games in high regard. They're not really my thing. But if you could have told me I was about to meet some of the most fun, twisted, and morally gray characters, I might have played 3 Houses sooner. My first Fire Emblem game hit me with charisma and personality. In this entry, you join one of the 3 houses, each having a range of likable to unlikable characters. And I'm excluding the DLC and the Church of Saros because, like, you know, fuck them. It's no secret that I'm a Blue Lions girl through and through, and I'd argue that they have the most well-rounded cast. You know, the brooding lone wolf, the Oji-san big sister, the playboy, the prude, the hot guy that's broken inside that everybody wants to fuck but can't because I married him. And the other houses have their tropes too, and that's the second most impressive thing. While each character embodies a trope, they're not just that. There is a well thought out backstory behind each character. They each have their own struggles, personality, motivations, and relations to others. I think tropes get a negative connotation, but I see it as a way to bring the player up to speed on each character's personality. And as you play, you get into the intricacies. For having such a large cast, I thought they did a phenomenal job fleshing out each character. They are more than just a unit, they have life built into them. That's why I don't let them die. I want to see them live their best life. I enjoyed seeing their relationships flourish, whether it helped develop their character for laughs or serving as perfect shipping material.
A gift, yes. For you. Who is the unlucky... Did you say for me?
I absolutely loved Fire Emblem Three Houses, and the majority of that is because of the colorful cast. For me, it's what carries the game. So if you haven't treated yourself, do so, and play Blue Lions for the best boys, Black Eagles for the best girls, and Golden Deer if you have no class. Just kidding, I love them too. Number 2! I can't imagine being a JRPG fan and hating the power of friendship. At this point, we should all be used to it. When the band all comes together, their resolve unshaken, their bonds unbreakable. It's really important to see a cast work together well. They're more than just individuals, and they've transcended their bonds of friendship and became a family. Tales of Grace's F has my favorite cast in all of the Tales games. Please forgive me, Berseria and Abyss. I love you, but Grace's has the cast with the least amount of people I hate. Like Breath of Fire 3, Grace's F takes the time to introduce our leading cast in their youth, getting a sense of who they are and seeing who they'll grow up to be. Somehow it made me love the basic, heroic, do-gooder main character, Asbel. He's kind of a stubborn troublemaker, but adventurous and really wants to do good for the realm as a knight despite his destiny of being a lord of his land. 2, unlike most games where I criticize the lack of character development, most of this cast is pretty static, and is set in their tropes. Yet I love them just as they were, with minimal growth. I was constantly enthralled with these characters, and as they grew in number, they started to form this familial bond, something I don't see often in JRPGs. Normally the cast stay friends and go off in their separate ways, save for the main character who gets a love interest. Asbel was the heroic and kind father. Sharia, literally there to be the love interest, but is the mother. Sophie is their child. The goofy Pascal is Sophie's big sister. Old Man Malik is the grandfather. Hubert is the uncle, being Asbel's brother. It was so cute how that all came together, and the skits that exemplify it were just perfect.
Would you like me to massage your shoulders for you, Grandpa?
Oh, that would be lovely, grandson.
Isn't it great? We're all one big family.
A little to the right there, Sonny.
Grace's F frequently dabbles in the theme of family, the good and the bad. Tales of Grace's also has a lot of tropes that I enjoy. Pascal, super bubbly and childish, but also a genius. Hubert is one of my absolute favorites. He's very by the book, logical, stern, has a stick up his ass, but when it comes to matters of the heart, he's rendered completely pathetic. Also, Hubert has the best romance in the entire game. Richard, a good guy gone bad, then back to good. And what can I say? I just love when hot guys go psycho. Tales of Grace's F is a feel-good game that never took itself too seriously, and its hilarious cast reflects that. Whether it's wandering around with an incognito prince aptly named Tiger Festival, or getting comically rejected by the girl of your dreams, I love Tales of Grace's F, and a big reason for it is because of the delightful and goofy family you made along the way.
Yeah, I bid you good day!
Honorable mentions.
We're gonna speed through this. Ready, go. Alliance Alive. Totally underrated, and honestly, I battled with putting this merry bunch into my top 5. Various characters from all walks of life coming together to put an end to racism. The cast is hilarious and jives so well together with some of my favorite dialogue. Persona 3, 4, and 5. You know, it changes every day of the week. Persona 3 is my favorite Persona game, but I actually really adore the cast of 4. But then 5 happened, and I'm like, oh, this is also good. I can't choose, so they're all here. Xenoblade Chronicles. They're just a bunch of good people. They want the best for each other and their world. It's refreshing to have a warm and friendly cast across the board. Don't read into this one too much, but Kingdom Hearts. The child in me said put Sora Donald the Goofy in this video, damn it. And now number 1. If you know me, you know my number one. Shouldn't be a surprise in the slightest. Most JRPGs, you get 6 to 8 characters and you cycle through them. Not this game, you get 3. And frankly, in combat, they don't even matter. It's what they add to the story and their bantering that makes me love them so much. NieR. And I'm specifically talking about NieR Gestalt. Believe it or not, I haven't played Replicant yet. I know, I'm such a bad NieR fan. So many games, not enough time to play them all. Anyways, NieR's cast is the biggest group of misfits that you'd assume don't mix, but somehow do. When you look at them, you see a discombobulated team that is certain to accomplish nothing based on how they bicker and respond to one another. Yet, that's what makes them so memorable. Seeing callous characters soften and meek characters take a stand. NieR is a caring father and the town's charity case, who does odd jobs to make ends meet. Grimoire Vice speaks like a know-it-all yet suffers from amnesia. Kaine, my favorite female video game character of all time, deals with her problems alone and never knew what it meant to have people in her corner. And lastly, my beloved son Emile, who is so sweet even after cruel experimentation. Their interactions with one another are so personal. Kaine speaking to Emile is vastly different from how she speaks to Vice. It reflects their unique relationship and their ever-evolving dialogues. Seeing them in the beginning versus now and the sacrifices they make for one another, and at the same time, despite their growth, their core traits aren't cast aside. Kaine never stops being aggressive or crude, even when she tries to be more compassionate. She has multiple sides, but they're all stained with a touch of aggression. Seeing these characters at their absolute lowest and how they cope together, they're never alone. I just love the crew, their dialogue, and their powerful scenes never cease to make me laugh or even cry. If you haven't already, please treat yourself to one of Yoko Taro's greatest works.
Goodbye, my friends. Thank you for everything.
And that's a wrap, folks. I've been on great journeys and mundane journeys, but the characters have always helped me pull through. So, I like to pass the question on to you. What are some of your favorite video game casts? Do we have similar tastes, or are we just two very different people? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye! Thank you so much for watching. Top box are videos like this, and the bottom box is Normal Boots Hardcore. Thank you so much, Toki, for helping me clean up this script. And lastly, don't forget to join my Patreon. $1 gets you into the Discord and lets you vote on what top 5 topics and games I'll play next. $5 is early access, and $10 is postcards. Love your faces, and until next time, mwah!